May 1st, 1994. No one expected Ayrton Senna's fatal accident, but was it really an accident?
Good evening. The former world motor racing champion Ayrton Senna has been pronounced clinically dead.
By the time Sunday's race started, the mood was somber, but no one could have foreseen what was about to happen. The 1994 Imola weekend was one of Formula One's darkest. On Friday, Rubens Barrichello survived a horrifying crash, shaking Senna. Saturday brought tragedy as Roland Ratzenberger lost his life in qualifying, leaving Senna visibly distraught.
Roland Ratzenberger succumbed to injuries sustained in the accident which took place at Imola circuit during Saturday qualifying practice, April the 30th.
Despite his safety concerns, Senna raced on Sunday, where his fatal crash at Tamburello Corner occurred. This tragedy prompted sweeping safety reforms, including reconfiguring Tamburello and improving barriers, forever changing Formula One's approach to driver safety. At first glance, it seemed like a tragic accident, but the clues left behind would lead to years of investigation. On lap 7, everything went wrong. Heading into the high-speed Tamburello corner, Senna's Williams FW16 veered off track, crashing into the concrete wall at over 200 km per hour. Onboard footage captured a strange movement in the steering wheel seconds before impact, fueling theories of mechanical failure. Investigators later discovered the steering column had been modified, a decision that became a critical point in the legal case. Prosecutor Maurizio Passarini, who looks like Mattia Binotto, tasked with uncovering the truth. His focus quickly turned to the black box data from Senna's Williams. These devices are designed to record crucial telemetry. However, controversy arose when investigators discovered gaps in the recorded data and an interruption in the onboard footage. Just before impact, Passerini's team worked tirelessly to uncover the truth, focusing on two major questions. Was the car at fault, and was anyone to blame? Passerini's investigation also highlighted concerns about the racetrack. Tamburello Corner, with its minimal runoff area and proximity to a concrete wall, was already notorious among drivers. Was the accident preventable if better precautions had been taken? While missing data and conflicting evidence complicated conclusions, the investigation spurred vital safety reforms that transformed Formula One forever.
You should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. And by being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
The 94 car's one of my huge regrets, regardless of what was the cause of the accident at Imola. The one thing you could definitely say about the car is it was aerodynamically unstable, Adrian Newey told, as he was the designer of Senna's car. Yes, that Newey, who designed championship-winning cars for McLaren and Max Verstappen. It was a very, very difficult car to drive, and the bumpier the circuit, the worse that became. And of course, Imola was quite a bumpy circuit, so what he did with that car was quite extraordinary. Asked if he considered leaving F1 in the wake of Senna's death, Newey responded,
How close were you to stopping?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about just stopping. Was it the steering column snapped? Did we completely mess up the design and field a car that was unsafe, or did something else happen? In what part did I personally play in what happened?
At Tamburello, the wall was placed close to the track, primarily due to the nearby Santerno River, limiting options for a safer layout. The lack of gravel traps or extended runoff areas heightened the danger. The focus was on Williams racing, with technical director Adrian Newey and team principal Frank Williams facing allegations of manslaughter. Williams claimed the modifications were safe, but the court saw things differently. Scrutiny turned to the car and its modified steering column, designed to suit Senna's preferences. The column had been cut and welded, raising concerns about its strength. Adrian Newey, Williams' chief designer, and Damon Hill, Senna's teammate, Both testified during the Italian trial. Newey defended the modifications as routine, while Hill highlighted how the car's handling was challenging but manageable. Passarini argued that the combination of the steering modification and track design contributed to Senna's crash. Williams, however, maintained that external factors like debris or suspension failure could not be ruled out. Ultimately, the court ruled that while there were concerns about Williams' car design, there wasn't enough evidence to conclusively place blame on the team. Senna's death changed Formula One forever, leading to the sport's most significant safety reforms. The tragedy of May 1st, 1994 marked a turning point for Formula One safety. The FIA introduced numerous reforms. Barriers were redesigned, tracks were re-evaluated, and cockpit structures were strengthened. Among these advancements was the implementation of the hands, designed to reduce the risk of fatal neck injuries during high-speed crashes. The hands device became mandatory and has since saved countless lives. Headlines across the globe mourned Senna's death while questioning the sport's safety standards. Articles such as Formula One's Darkest Weekend highlighted the urgency for reform, and subsequent editorials praised the FIA for its proactive steps. Today, Senna's legacy lives on, not only as one of the greatest drivers in history, but also as a catalyst for safer racing. While the Italian courts eventually ruled the crash as a racing accident, he dominated the sport with 41 wins and 65 pole positions in just 10 seasons. Known for his exceptional skill in wet conditions and relentless drive, he won his titles with McLaren between 1988 and 1991. His rivalries, particularly with Alain Prost, are legendary, and his mastery at tracks like Monaco cemented his status as one of the greatest drivers in history. Senna's career was tragically cut short at the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, but his legacy of brilliance and bravery lives on. Off the track, he was a philanthropist, dedicating much of his success to improving education for underprivileged children in Brazil. His 1993 Donington Park drive remains a masterclass in wet weather racing, a testament to his unparalleled control. While his career was tragically cut short at the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, Senna's impact on the sport, both in spirit and safety reforms, is immortal. Watch his drive at Donington, his fierce battles with Prost, and feel the brilliance of a man whose legacy transcends racing.
I am very strong in a way of driving. I want always to go faster.
Ayrton Senna was more than a driver. He was an icon. But what do you think? Could this tragedy have been prevented? Let's discuss.